Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why working hard for money is actually a good thing when you're in your 20s. So guys, when you're young, we know you have the most energy, right? That's a given, right? That's everyone knows that. The biggest thing I've noticed when, working two jobs and, having like side hustles and just things that I can do to make money and really being on the grind, 10, 12, 14 hours a day. The biggest thing I notice is that as far as what's good that comes from that, because a lot of people can look at that and be like, damn dude, that must be tiring, that must suck, that must be boring, that must be not fun, right? Because you'd think like, partying and maybe like relaxing or watching TV or hanging out with friends or girlfriends or whatever would be the fun thing to do, right? But what you'll notice is that working hard is actually very rewarding, right? Like, so obviously, the money is cool, right? You get that extra money and everything, but that's not really what gets me up to do, these extra days, right? Like on my days off when I Uber for, 8 hours or 10 hours, that's not what really motivates me. Yeah, it's great. The tips, sometimes I get good tips, right? But it's more about just being out of the house. I mentioned that I think in one of my last videos, but being in the house, man, all day is very depressing, especially as a human, right? Because human beings, if you read the book The Human Zoo by Desmond Morris, right, there's a chapter on anxiety and depression, and he says that when humans are secluded in an inside area, doesn't have to be a jail, doesn't have to be like a zoo or something. It's any secluded area that is small, that doesn't include like nature or greenery or like you can see the sky or whatever, or the sun. That causes anxiety and depression. That causes cortisol to go up, right? So you wonder why, when you're in your house all day, you're depressed, or you're more likely to give into vices, or you're more likely to start to just like have an existential crisis. It's because you're inside all day, right? So I don't really Uber. I mean, yeah, I Uber for the money, but I don't really Uber and get out of the house and, do these things just for money. It's more so for protecting myself from my own mind, right? Because your mind, the human mind is weird, right? If it's not focused on, a task at hand, right, for a good chunk of the day, it'll go in so many different directions, right? Just, you'd have to experience this, but if you go a whole day with no cell phone or no human contact, right, you'll notice that your mind might take you into some places that aren't very comfortable, right? And that's not to say that you should avoid those moments or you should try to just shove those things down, but it's to say that, you don't want to live like that every single day, right? That's not a very life-giving sort of way to live. That's not a very enjoyable way to live, right? So working hard for money, really comes down to, in my opinion, obviously getting out of the house, staying away from vices. And it's funny, like when you work towards something, like the human mind and the human body, I guess, the human being in general needs a goal, right? And it's not so much about what the goal is, but there has to be a reason for you to get up. Like I notice, like if I don't have anything to do, right? If I wake up one day and I'm like, I don't have anything to do, there's really like, I might just go to the gym. If that's the only thing I do, that's not going to be an enjoyable day, right? I'm going to probably not have the best things, the best thoughts, the best emotions, the best sense of purpose, right? And when you have things that you can do, right? And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a second job, it could be school, it could be anything. But when you have a point and purpose and like a sense of agency in the world, and you wake up every day knowing that you're going to be doing something that gets you closer to whatever goal it is, right? And goals never end. So that's something else. Goals never end, but the fact that you have them, the fact that you set them is important, because like I said, the human being thrives in motion. The human being thrives with things to move towards to, right? And like I said, it's not so much about accomplishing the goal or getting, to the money, right? Like, I mean, it is, but it's more about the movement. It's more about the doing that gives you the sense that, okay, like there's something to do today. There's something to hunt, right? I guess in a hunter-gatherer sense, you'd equate that to something to eat, right? There's something to go out and get and bring back to the tribe, right? So, you know, all in all, I mean, making money is great, right? Obviously, that's a big goal, but working hard and, you know, working, you know, long hours, right? You know, think about it in a way where it's like think about it in the sense that that's what gives you the joy. That's what gives you the purpose, right? When I wake up, you know, and like I said, I have nothing to do, that's gonna be a depressing day, right? That's not to say that life's gonna always be like that, but that's to say that I'm probably not gonna make much progress towards anything today. My mind knows that because I'm not doing anything. And you know, that's when the dark thoughts start to come in, and that's when, you know, if you're not careful, that's when you can get trapped in vices and things that actually derail you, actually set you back. So be careful, and like I said, enjoy the process, enjoy making money, but just know that, like I said, especially when you're young, you have to have things to do, right? I think when you get older, I mean, it's still important, right? But with all the energy you have as a kid or as a young man, like, you can't afford to not do things on a daily basis. You can't afford to not get out of the house on a daily basis, right? You know, my dad the other day was telling me, you know, he was just on the phone and he was like, you know, you should take a break, you know, you should rest up, and I was like, okay, whatever, you know, but he says this shit all the time, right? And I'm like, dude, you don't even take a break, right? Because he's retired, but he's always, you know, outside gardening, you know, he goes swimming in the morning, he takes care of my sister, he's doing things around the house. Like, he doesn't really take a break either. He doesn't really sit down either. So in my head, I'm like, you know, I mean, he's just saying that to sound nice and caring, but taking a break, like, you know, if you're sleeping well, right? If you have a lot of energy, which if you're sleeping well, if you're not watching porn, if you're eating well, right, and you're young, you're gonna have a lot of energy, right? So you're naturally going to want to go out and achieve things and move towards a goal, right? So just remember that, and you know, anytime you're contemplating whether or not you should work that day, just remember that, you know, remember that, hey, like, if I don't work today, you know, I'm not probably going to have the best emotions, thoughts, you know, and I'm certainly not going to make the progress that I want when it comes to my goals, when it comes to my finances, right? And then obviously your happiness, right? If you're not doing things, you're not happy, right? Humans are only typically happy when we're in the process of doing things, right? So anyways, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.